Welcome back, everyone. I'm Layla.
And I'm Laura.
And this is For Your Penjoyment, a show about fountain pens and the joys they bring us.
Brought to you by Pen Boutique.
So how are you doing today, Laura?
No! Jumped me with that question again. Oh, no. Because I promised not to talk about the pen show until later, and I don't have anything else to say. Oh, gosh. How are you doing, Layla?
I'm fantastic, Laura. It's been a great couple days. Daylight savings time has me off my game a little.
That's always fun.
But that extra hour of sunlight, I'm very much looking forward to it on the drive home today.
It does not mess up my ability to do stuff too much because I have a very sporadic schedule. Like, when I can, I stay up really, really late because I'm a huge night owl.
Sure.
So it's like some days I'll stay up until 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
If I have to get up from work the next day, maybe I'll go to bed at 1 a.m.
Whoa.
Well, let's not talk about that. But anyway.
But I get horribly messed up. I'm a creature of habit, so I'm in bed by 11. I'm up by 7. Yikes. No alarm needed. I'm just awake. Yesterday screwed me up pretty bad.
It'll be okay.
It'll be
You'll
okay.
adjust. You'll
I
adjust.
know. So, what pen are you using today?
I do have an answer for this question.
Excellent.
And I am prepared for it. I have a new pen that I got because I won what was basically the grand prize at the After Dark thing at the pen show on Saturday night.
Tell us what that pen is.
Which was hosted by our friend Carrie
from
Kenro/Esterbrook. So the grand prize was actually an Esterbrook Esty in Petrified Forest.
Which you already have.
Which I already have. It's like my favorite shade. Mm-hmm. So I won it and I was like, oh, great. Oh, no. And I went up to Carrie and I said, I already have that pen. And he already knew that. He remembered that I had it already. So he said I could swap it for a different pen.
Well done.
So the next day I went up to Carrie and he showed me all of my choices that were similar value. And I picked this one out, which apparently I traded up a little bit. And I really like this pen. It's a Montegrappa Fortuna Reserve, which is really special. It was like a collaboration between Kenro, specifically, and Montegrappa.
Interesting.
And it's like a material, they like to revive older materials. Mm-hmm. And it's just like a U.S. exclusive, only for the U.S. market, because Kenro is the U.S. distributor of Montegrappa and a bunch of other brands. And this is actually limited to 80 pens. Pretty cool.
That is really neat.
Yeah. And it uses a Yowo No. 6 steel nib. It's really smooth. He even tuned it for me. I didn't ask him to, but he just did. Love it. I really like this pen. So this isn't something that we carry, but if anybody wants one, we can get it for you. Just call us or ask, and we can order it from Kenro.
And just so
really
I'm clear, what is this particular color called?
Oh, yes. I forgot to mention that. This color is called Dalmatian.
I just love that.
You'd think it would have black polka dots, but it doesn't.
Close
it's
enough,
really
though.
sophisticated. I really like it. It's like a silvery gray. It's really pretty.
It's very classy.
Beautiful nib.
Oh, look
love
at that.
How it writes.
I do love a Montegrappa nib.
They're
so pretty.
Yeah, this is my second Montegrappa. I really, really like it. And I put in Sailor Ink Studio. I wrote down the number because I wouldn't remember the number, but Sailor Ink Studio 737, which is like this sophisticated purplish, but like a reddish purple.
Ooh.
It really looks nice in here.
I love that.
Really, really like it. I'm so happy with this pen.
I'm so happy for you.
Sorry I blabbed about it so much.
And shout out to Carrie.
Thank you
very
so much, Carrie. Thank you, Carrie.
Well.
What's your pen?
I am... I'm using an eyesore today.
No, it's cheerful.
Yellow is a happy color.
Yes.
It is unfortunately not one of my favorite colors.
No, mine either.
So I am using my yellow Lamy Safari
Uh-huh.
cursive nib
Of course.
because I wanted to try a new ink. But we will get to that
Yes,
later.
we will talk about that later.
But she was on standby, so I inked her up,
Very
and
nice.
she's good to go.
Very nice.
Let's talk about what's new in store.
Ooh, we got some cool stuff this time. Very cool stuff.
Very cool stuff.
What do you want to talk about first? The sailors?
I certainly do. So we actually have 2 new lines of sailor
Yes.
in the store. I'm first going to talk about their smoothie line.
I love both of these. They're both beautiful.
Absolutely. I think
Really cool.
some of these are stunning.
Some of Sailor's recent color combinations have been a little weird. These are all beautiful. I really like these.
For sure. So this is their smoothie line. I'm going to bring them out one smoothie at a time. They're the standard Pro Gear size, 21 karat gold nib. This first one is called Wildberry.
Very pretty.
It's a 2-tone pink with some sparkles in it.
I like
Very
how
beautiful.
soft that one is. Really, really
It
nice.
is very soft. It's got a feminine energy to it. I like that.
I love the subtle sparkles in these too. They're really pretty.
Definitely.
Nice.
Next up, we have got Cantaloupe.
Ooh.
And Cantaloupe has
like
gold
it.
details, whereas Wildberry did not.
Oh, yeah, right. That one's silver.
So we've got a 2-tone melon color.
I love
again,
these
with
colors.
sparkles.
This is one of my favorite colors. After purplish colors, I like these kind of pink grapefruit type colors.
This one is your
Yeah.
vibe then, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of like my petrified forest.
Yeah,
Similar
yeah.
type colors that I really, really
In that
like.
color family,
Yeah,
for sure.
nice.
We've also got passion fruit.
Ooh.
This beautiful
That's
muted yellow.
beautiful. So we were talking about this earlier,
Mm-hmm.
and we both associate passion fruits with different colors than this.
Right.
But there's different types of passion fruit, and maybe that's the color of passion fruit in Japan.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because
yeah.
I'm more familiar with the Hawaiian one, which is called lilikoi,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like yellowish on the outside and bright orange on the inside,
And I'm more familiar with the traditional passion fruit,
which
or what
I think
we
is
think of as
like the
traditional.
Australian. I think that one
Right.
is,
Which is like a deep purple on the outside and that pulpy, fleshy orange on
Right.
the inside.
but maybe the Japanese one's that color.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Next up, we have Blue Moon, which is supposed to be a blueberry smoothie.
That's gorgeous. Too.
This is very muted blue. It's still got the sparkles.
Shreya would love this one.
Shreya
I
would
can't wait
love
to
it.
see her reaction. to this one.
Exactly. Now, we are sold out of one.
Yes.
We are sold out of Ocean Water, which was this beautiful, stunning aquamarine color. Now,
I'm
we've
sorry.
talked, because it's a smoothie line, we've talked about what flavor Ocean Water
So
smoothie
here's
would
my
be.
theory.
Yes.
I think an ocean smoothie is salt water with chunks of fish and seaweed in it. Doesn't that sound delicious?
Sounds so appetizing.
Well, regardless, it was the most beautiful, in my opinion, of these pens, and that's why it's sold out. But we do have more on order, so we're going to have more soon.
Very exciting.
But it's like sort of an aqua color, you said, right?
It's so
Yeah,
pretty.
It's really, really pretty.
We also have the Pro Gear Slim, the Princess Pro Gear Slims. The basis of this line is Japanese fairy tales,
Yeah.
and each pen is named after a different princess in that fairy tale.
These are cool.
My pronunciation of these names is not going to be perfect, but I'm going to try my best. So we have the first pen that's Princess Uguisu.
Wow.
I'm not going to go into the lore, but we've got
But tell us what's on there.
a bird detail, a bush warbler.
Okay. It's really
and
cute.
cherry blossoms as
Yeah.
well. Now, I failed to mention before this that the designs on the pens are made with mother of pearl
Mm-hmm.
and Yubi Makie details.
Ooh.
So it's very pretty.
Yeah.
Next up,
I love that these are kind of unusual colors, but they're not like unattractive, weird, unusual.
They're
They're
interesting
beautiful.
pairings.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're really nice.
absolutely. Next up, we have Princess Okichubo.
Oh, this one's so pretty.
This one has cherry blossoms as well and soft petals all over it.
I'm seeing the little sparkles from the mother of pearl as you move
Exactly.
it. Wow.
And the basis of this fairy tale is it's a Cinderella type story, which I found interesting.
Cool. Yeah, and there's Cinderella stories in so many different cultures.
Absolutely.
It's really interesting if you study that.
Next up, we have Princess Shirote.
Wow.
This one's very soft.
Love that.
You
Really
have
unusual colors
A
again.
giant white carp at the bottom,
Cool.
and then irises on the cap.
I love this purpley color up there.
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's very cute.
Really nice.
And then lastly, this one might be my favorite
This one's
color.
my favorite.
We have Princess Koto. We have shell and wave patterns all over the
I
pen.
love that wave pattern. It's kind of Art Deco-y looking.
That's what I was thinking, yes.
And
absolutely.
I love the ocean. And this is such a strange, almost like a sand color.
yeah.
It's really different.
And on this particular
Cool.
pen, the mother of pearl really stands out.
Yep. Yep.
So that is what's new
I
to our
love
store from
these.
Sailor.
Really nice job, Sailor. I like these a lot.
Now you've got a new release from Pelican.
Yes,
You're very
I
excited
do.
about Pelican.
I'm very excited about this one. I've been like, whoa, I was looking forward to this because Gary told me that this one was coming, and I was like, oh, when are we going to get it? So
Do tell.
even the box got me excited. So here's the box. Look at the end.
It's a beautiful orange.
It's called Orange Delight.
And delightful
And
it
is. It's just, when you see this color, it just makes you happy. It's just, ooh, really bursting with happiness.
Aw.
Look at this color.
Oh, wow.
And it's not just like a regular orange. It's got like this really warm, I don't know. It's something about it that really, really appeals to me. It's a little bit of a yellowy orange. It's almost like a coral shade.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's so pretty. It just makes me happy. And I like how it looks with the gold trim.
The gold trim is very nice.
So this is a classic 200 series.
Yep.
It's got a steel nib, so it's not super, super expensive.
Right.
Now this one's a demonstrator. And I really, really like that even though it's a demonstrator, it's got the solid color cap. Because as you know, I'm not crazy about demonstrator pens.
Exactly.
Especially, it always bugs me a little bit when I have a clear cap and I see the ink through that.
Yeah.
It gets to me.
I understand.
That's not going to happen with this pen because the cap is solid, but the body is this beautiful, glowy orange. When I brought this over near the front door of the store and the sunlight was shining in and I held this in the sunlight, it was even more beautiful. It just like really captures that warmth and glowiness.
I love how you
I
describe
love it.
things.
I love this pen. It's so pretty.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
Put
we
it
also
back here
yeah.
in
Go ahead and put it in
Penelope's
Penelope.
There you go.
Very good.
There.
We also have a new release from Waterman.
Yeah.
Can you take a minute to talk about that?
This is a little more of a Laura style pen than a Layla style pen.
It's classy. I will say that.
So this is the Waterman Hemisphere in color blocking, which they came out, some color blocking pens, I guess it was last year. So the last year colors, I wanted to show those just as a reminder. I don't remember what they're called. I didn't write it down, but we got this pinky two-tony one. We've got a purple two-tone one, blue two-tone,
And this was their
and
green
two-tone.
two-tone.
And these come in fountain pen, rollerball, and ballpoint.
That's right.
So the new colors are very different from those, and they really appealed to me. They're very sophisticated looking. One of them is black and white two-tone,
I like the
and it's
contrast.
very like pop art kind of look to me. It's really sharp. I really like that. And the other one is really interesting too. It's black and navy blue.
Which to me has always been like a sin to combine those
I know,
two
me
colors.
too. Like if I wear navy blue clothes, I'm always nervous. Like, what shoes do I wear with these?
Do I
It
wear
doesn't-
brown details?
I know
on
I
it?
don't have any
know.
brown
Exactly.
shoes, but my black shoes seem like they don't go. But I like how this looks
I
together.
do too.
Actually, it makes me less nervous about wearing black and navy clothes
I hear
together.
you.
I think this is really sophisticated. Really, Nice.
I do like that.
And these pens are the least expensive of Waterman's expensive pen line.
Right.
They have steel nibs. They're really nice quality, really classy
agree.
looking, and they make really great gifts, like for a graduation present or, congratulations on that new job, or just like any kind of gift. But
I mean, I'm contemplating the blue
they're
one
just
for Mother's Day
like
for
just
my
so
mother.
classic. The type of pen you might give someone who's not into fountain pens. They don't have a million different pens already, but you want to give them that one really special, classic-looking fountain pen.
I like that.
It's a really good pen. Yeah. So I'm excited about the new colors. I really am. I think they're
Nice.
cool.
So, last but not least, we have a long-awaited release from Kaweco. We have the new Kaweco Sport in Apricot Pearl. So, they came out with the iridescent Kaweco Sport. Was it last year or the year prior? I can't remember.
I don't know. It might have
within
been
the
the year
last 2
prior.
years.
Yeah. And we both own that one, don't we?
In double broad, believe it or not.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
that's
both
wild.
have a double broad iridescent pearl.
And then they released Apricot Pearl.
Yes.
So it's this interesting flesh tone, but it has this green shift iridescence to
Yeah,
it.
it does kind of match my skin color
Yeah.
almost. Yeah.
I
And,
love the iridescence.
and we saw preview pictures of this like months ahead of time, and we're like,
The pictures really didn't do
and
it
then
justice.
when we saw it in person, when you move it in your hand, which
And that
happens
green comes
naturally as you're
through.
writing and stuff,
Right.
it really gives off a really cool effect. It's got that opalescence, and it's got that color shift between green and apricot. That's just, it's like looking at the inside of a seashell or something.
I like that
I
comparison.
really like that. It's really, really pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And this one has gold trim, unlike the iridescent pearl, which has
Correct.
the silver trim.
I like the gold detail paired with that color.
I do too. It's got a nice warmth to it.
Agreed.
Really nice combo. I wonder if this will be a series. I don't know yet.
If they come up with other iridescent color match, that would be so nice. I would love purple with a green shift to it.
Too.
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll see.
We will see.
We'll see.
So there's been a lot of news in the pen world since our last episode.
Yes, there has. And
And a little bit of scandal, too.
a little bit.
I like a good scandal every now and then. It keeps life interesting. So, first up, the news that came out February 28th that the Mitsubishi Pencil Company acquired Lamy. So, it turns out that Lamy was searching for a buyer for quite some time.
Okay.
And they had, some criteria for that particular buyer. They wanted to see this buyer lead Lamy into the future. With expertise, experience, and love for the Lamy brand.
Nice.
And they wanted the buyer to be able to commit to Germany being the business hub for the company.
Okay, that's important.
So in that, they found the Mitsubishi
We
Pencil
want
Company.
Lamy to stay German.
We want that cold German engineering.
Absolutely.
So the Mitsubishi Pencil Company is more widely known, at least in the Western world, as Uniball.
Okay.
Yep.
And that's totally different from the Mitsubishi Car Company.
From the cars, the refrigerator,
okay.
any appliance.
There's a bunch
car,
of different
et cetera.
Mitsubishi because it's a common Japanese name, I guess. I don't know. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, what prompted the sale? Lamy essentially wanted to find a partner to develop the growth area of digital writing with.
What's that mean?
Now, I had to look up what digital writing was. So, the definition that most satisfied me was writing that is composed and most often read through digital environments and tools.
So that's like the opposite of a fountain
That is
pen.
opposite of anything analog we do.
Right.
But I'm thinking as technology develops, they're looking for a solution that will marry the two, like kind of like augmented paper,
Sure.
something like that.
Which Lamy does have some stuff like that, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm interested in seeing how Mitsubishi can propel Lamy forward.
Interesting.
Absolutely. The Mitsubishi Pencil Company was founded in 1887.
Okay, so it's not a new thing.
Not
It's
a
been
new thing at
around
all.
a long time, just like a fountain pen company.
Exactly. And I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah.
I want to see what they can do, bring Lamy into the future, as they say,
As long as they stay nice and German.
which they plan on doing for the foreseeable future.
I have to advocate for Germanness since I'm half German.
I
after all.
understand. We also wanted to address the dark lilac
Yes,
controversy.
Controversial. Very controversial.
So dark lilac was teased as returning on several outlets. Like first it was, I first found out about it on Instagram as being released as an only UK thing. Then it was announced it was releasing globally.
Right, and it was like Lamy didn't even announce it, which was weird. People just started seeing, hey, why is this listed as being for sale?
Hey everyone, it's Layla. Just popping in for a quick editor's note. I don't think Laura and I did a good enough job impressing upon the viewers just how much of a cult favorite the old dark lilac is. Like, if you search for this particular ink, the 2016 version on eBay, you'll see it go for as much as $300. So this was a highly sought after ink. On with the episode.
And it was really confusing at first. People didn't know if it really was dark lilac or it was the same as
The 2016 version.
no,
something
or
new.
people thought it might really be the what's it called, violet blackberry.
Violet blackberry.
And like
'Cause
maybe
that
they were
came out as
calling
well.
it by a different name, by a mistake, or
Right.
people were very confused at first what this was. So
So, and there was some confusion on Lamy's part.
yes,
They were initially saying, "Oh, it's the same formula as the 2016
Right.
dark lilac. You have nothing to worry about." But people are getting this ink slowly and swatching it and comparing the swatches. They're like, "Oh no!" And then Lamy came clean and said, "Okay, it is different."
right, and it's because they're unable to get one of the dyes anymore.
Yes,
so
that's what I heard.
they can't make the original formula, which is understandable.
Right.
You know, they came as close as they could to it.
Absolutely.
And so we did a comparison.
We got to
I
play
was
with it.
really excited to try this. I had a tiny little sample of the old one, which
Who'd you get that
your
from?
friend Vernon gave me. Thank you so much,
Thank you, Vernon.
Really appreciate that.
Absolutely. So let's go into the ink sample.
Yeah. So I had in my collection an extra fine lilac all-star. So I put the new color in here. And I used the little sample that Vernon gave me with my Sailor Fude thing that I don't know how to pronounce. Yes, the Hokora dip pen.
That's what I'm here for. The
And
pronunciation.
then I wanted it to be a really fair comparison, so I also did the new one with the Hokora dip pen,
Very
so
good.
they wouldn't be like two different things.
So
So
this
this,
use the Tomoe River paper.
yeah, so this was on the top of my Riffer paper. So this was the old dark lilac on the top and the new dark lilac on the bottom. 2016, 2024.
The difference in the amount of sheen
Yes.
is absurd.
It's really noticeable on this paper
oh yes.
because the new one has tons of green sheen. And you really see that a lot.
Whereas the old one had like a
thicker
smattering.
nib. Right. Now, if you use
The Marma Nemesine.
right, if you use the Nemesine notebook, it's not quite as dramatic because the sheen doesn't show quite as much.
Right.
So here's the old one. Here's the new one. And then when you use like the Fude, you can control how thick it is. So when you
Sure.
make it really thick, the new one looks a lot darker because of the amount of sheen that shows.
Right.
But when I used my extra fine pen, it really brought out the purple color,
Yeah, it
which
certainly
is
did.
a little bit redder and brighter than the old purple color.
I'd agree.
And I actually like the new purple color better than the old one. I think it matches the Lilac All-Star perfectly. It looks gorgeous, especially when I wrote in my right notebook. Look how well that matches.
That does look beautiful.
It really looks beautiful. And in this notebook, the more purpley color showed really well with my extra fine pen. Totally love it. really like this. I want to, like, that might be the new official ink for this pen. I really like this ink, and it flows really well. I really, really
it really
like it.
does have a good flow to it.
It's awesome.
Oh, my
I love
goodness.
this ink. I like it better than the old one for my purposes. I mean,
right
I
there with you.
understand why people that love the old one would feel disappointed that it's not the same, but
I think it's
for
the new
me,
and improved.
I like the new one better
I agree.
because I like that it's a little more reddish instead of. It's like slightly less dark, and it shows the color, the little brightness of the color more, and I like that.
I do like that too. Now, we just happen to have one more piece of controversy for you.
I should have had a prop for this, but I don't.
Some misinformation, perhaps.
Yes.
Laura, would you like to talk about this?
So, remember a few episodes back where I told the very sad news that the E95S in burgundy and ivory is going to be discontinued?
I remember.
We were bummed out.
We certainly were.
Well, guess what? It was fake news.
Thank goodness.
But it's not all fake. The rumor started because it is being discontinued in every country except the U.S.
Huh.
It's going to become a U.S. exclusive now.
How cool.
Japan wanted to discontinue it, and the U.S. guys were like, no, we love that color. So they convinced them to keep it for just the U.S. market only.
I love that.
Yes, and this is straight from the mouth of our pilot rep, Bill, who's really, really nice, and he, confirmed with all the pilot people that this is accurate, this is the correct news.
Very good.
Yeah.
That is pretty exciting. So we have a little glimmer of hope for the burgundy E95S.
Well, the rest of the world we can feel sad for, but they'll have to order it overseas from America, I guess, because it's a great color.
I wonder what new colors they'll come up with for it.
I don't know.
We'll just have to wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Controversies aside, we had a great time at the pen show.
Yeah, that's right. The pen show.
Mm-hmm. So this was my first Baltimore pen show. Laura, you're second.
That's right.
How was your time?
It was really weird for me because it was so different from my first show.
Yeah.
Which makes sense in hindsight, of course. So when I first got there, I was like, why does it feel so small to me? And it's not a small show. It's a decent-sized show. But the first pen show that I ever went to was last year's Baltimore Pen Show. So naturally it felt pretty overwhelming to me since it was my first show. And then my second show ever was the DC show, which is the biggest show in the whole country or maybe the whole world. So it's gigantic.
Sure.
So in comparison, I was like, well, this seems small. So that was weird for me. But what was so awesome was, like, everybody knew us this time.
It was wild.
It was crazy.
We couldn't walk more than 20, 50 feet before someone called one of our names.
Right. They'd come up to us and know us from either this show or the Battle of the Pens. And it was so wonderful.
Yeah.
Like, just meeting all these people and connecting with them. Now, like, I was very conflicted because I was feeling like I don't have much to show for this because I wasn't taking selfies.
Right.
I'm not the kind of person that does that. That's not me. And when someone would come up to me, I would just like give them my full attention and talk to them and really connect with them and thank them for their support and, for appreciating what we do and tell them how great it is to meet them and talk to them about like, what did you get at the pen show? And they'd show me their pen or whatever.
I'm so excited about that.
Yeah, and I had all these really great, real connections, real one-on-one, where we would really stand there and talk for maybe 10 minutes or something. Not in every case, but then I later on was like, wow, I don't have any evidence of this, like anything to show Lena.
Right.
But I
We
don't
had a
know.
good time.
I felt like that was more authentic and that was
the way to do
more meaningful for both of us. And it was so cool meeting all these people. And it was also so cool how when we would go up to the different vendors, I didn't have to say, I'm Laura from Pen Boutique. They already knew who I was. And it sort of shocked me. Like,
yeah,
I've come a long way in the past year. Everybody knows who I am now. That's cool. It is
fun.
Really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I had a similar experience at the pen show.
Yeah.
It was great seeing our customers out in the wild. A lot of our customers are part of the DC Pen Crew, and the DC Pen Crew was volunteering at the pen show. It was interesting to meet a lot of new members of the pen crew, just meeting new people. Like as Laura said, there were some reps that knew me before I knew them, which was a little jarring. But like after the first couple encounters, like it got easier to deal with.
We also got to meet with Karen from Anderillium, who we love. It's one of our favorite brands. She was there, and it was really great to talk with her again. It was great to have like a
one-on-one with her.
And you hadn't met her, or had you?
I hadn't. I had met her very briefly at the DC Pen Show. It was one of those like fangirl moments, like, "Hey, I work at Pen Boutique. Love your work. Bye."
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But to talk to her was very cool.
Very, very cool. The other thing I wanted to mention that was really special was I got to meet David, the guy who named Penelope.
Oh, very cool.
And he had commented on one of our previous videos and said, I think a great name for your pelican was Penelope. And I loved that name, but I had no idea what this guy looked like or anything. And he came up to me at the show, and he had a really cool pelican that he had just bought. It was this demonstrator pelican that was completely clear, and it had all the parts of the pen written on the pen.
Ooh.
And he showed it to me, and he let me try it, and it was just so great meeting with him and connecting with him. Yeah, so thanks, David.
David, longtime customer and now friend of the show. Thank you, David. So for those of you who haven't been to a pen show, it consists of tons of tables from with tons of reps from all kinds of different pen companies trying to sell you their wares, basically. We have gotten close to our pilot rep, Bill.
Yes, I love Bill.
He's a wonderful person.
Just like a gentleman, really calming person to be around, which I really appreciate. He's low-key, but he's also has like a really good sense of humor. He's actually a really fun guy. He's so nice,
I like
him. And when he was here earlier this year, you interviewed him.
I certainly did. So there will be some blue hair.
That's right. It's going to be a different hair color.
And it will say holidays on the side.
Right, yeah.
But let's cut back to our interview with Bill. Well, I have Bill Piercy here from Pilot. How are you doing today, Bill?
I'm excellent.
So, for the viewers out there who are novices, what role does the representative serve in the relationship between store and company?
I try to bring information about new products to the stores. As new staff is hired, I do training for the staff so that they can know the different nuances of the different pen series and nibs. Come in and do events such as we're doing tomorrow here in the store, and be available via call, text, email to answer questions and help out and support in any way I can.
Very good. And just so I get an idea, because today is the first day we met, how long have you been doing this? How long have you been in this field?
More than 25 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now, here's a question. Were you a pen person before Pilot, or did Pilot make you a pen person?
I was a pen person before Pilot.
Okay.
I used to work for Rotring, the Rotring 600s, the other writing instruments, back in the 90s. And we launched their writing instruments at the time. And then as things progressed and they were bought out by another company, I had the opportunity to become independent. And then in 2005, I teamed up with Pilot. So I've been with them about 18 years now.
Very nice. Pilot makes an array of writing instruments.
Yes.
You know, you have the beginner-friendly pens like your Kakunos, your Metropolitan, your
Right.
Explorer, and then you have your aspirational pens like
Correct.
your Namikis.
Right.
When you're at a pen show and someone gravitates toward your table, what's typically the first thing? How do you engage with them?
A variety of ways. You try to get a feel for what they're looking for first, of course. But probably we're best known for our vanishing points. This is the 60th year of the vanishing point.
That's right.
We have a special limited edition this year for it.
And it's gorgeous.
So that's what we're known for, probably primarily. And it's surprising to me at pen shows the number of people who say, I've always heard of vanishing points, but I've never tried one. In 60 years, you've never tried one. That baffles me. But so often we start with vanishing points.
Okay.
And then if they're like you said, a beginner, and we need to drop down to the Kakanoa, the Explorer, or the Metropolitan, we can do that. If they have a collection started and they want to see the new nibs from the 912s or the 743s, then we can go through those array of nibs, and then move into the Makie and Chinkin pieces of the Namiki series.
Very
Just kind of
nice.
work with them and see where their curiosity is and help them out.
You meet people where they're at. I like that.
Yeah.
Say there's a first timer coming to your table at a pen show. Say we're at the Baltimore Pen Show.
Okay.
Someone approaches you. They're on, again, the novice side of things, and they're curious about a fountain pen. What is your default beginner fountain pen?
Metropolitan.
Metropolitan.
Yep.
Why is it the Metro for you?
It's got a name already. It's been out for many years. It's a solid pen in your hand. It does have a little weight to it, and some beginners would rather have a lighter pen. So if we talk about the Metropolitan and you can see it's just not fitting their hand, the Explorer is an excellent option because it's lighter weight. It's the same price range. Nice range of colors available.
The same nib exact?
Same nib, yeah, fine and medium nibs. So it gives a lighter weight pen. Explorer, like if you're going out exploring or hiking, it doesn't add weight to your backpack. It's a nice lightweight
That's
pen.
clever.
So there's different, but that's the two that we would start with for a novice.
Now, say this novice of ours, this mythical novice that we've created, they want to graduate to something nicer. They may be looking for their first gold nib. Where do you guide them from there? That's basically what they're thinking. I want my first gold nib, and I want to feel like I'm expanding specifically my pilot collection.
Right.
Which direction do you push them in?
The next step from that, I always take people to the E95S. It's a nice little pocket-sized pen, but when you post it, it becomes full-size in your hand. At $180 suggested retail, I think it's the first step into a gold nib that you can find out there.
That's a great value.
And it doesn't get us into the vanishing point, which is a little different than a standard vanishing point, a standard fountain pen. So some people, if they're a beginner and don't know about a vanishing point, I lead them other places before we get there.
That's quite the jump.
Yeah,
You got to
yeah.
crawl before you walk,
Right.
so to speak.
And you have to hold it with that clip. And
Let's talk about a step up from the E95S.
okay,
I'm just trying to give the viewer an idea of the broad range that Pilot offers.
right.
Where would you go from there exactly?
From there, I would go to the Custom 912
Okay.
because we have 15 different nibs available in that series. So we can find something from everybody from an extra fine or the posting nib, which is even finer than the extra fine, all the way up to a music nib, a flexible nib, a nib that works well for left-handers. Something in that 15 nib
That's
range
amazing.
we can find for somebody.
Where did those 15 nibs come from? What was the thought process behind that? That's fascinating to me.
Yeah, and, I mean, we have the standard extra fine, medium,
Sure.
broads, but like the posting nib was made extremely fine to write postcards because you're trying to put a lot of information in a small space. so you needed a really fine pen. And that's why it's called the posting nib.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that detail. Okay, cool.
The
Very neat.
music nib was designed to write music. And people that write music love that. But then the rest of us said, yeah, but I want to write with it. Okay.
So there's a nib for that.
Yeah. Yep.
Very cool.
The FA nib, which is very flexible, very soft, lets people do expressive writing, the Spencerian type writing. So there's a reason for it. So
Expressive
yeah.
writing. Okay, very cool. Now, talking about the Maquillé and Chinkin series, treat me as a complete novice. What does that mean exactly?
Maquillé, and I'm not an artist, so this is going to be pretty much from an amateur viewpoint as far as that's concerned. Maquillé is a painting technique. It's actually applied onto the pens and built up layer after layer after layer to create the design.
Okay.
Chinkin is actually gouged into the material and then backfilled with a color.
Okay.
So you don't get as many color options and you don't feel the texture of the pen because it's all smooth. But it's a very exacting science to do a Chinkin pen.
That's fascinating.
Yep.
Now, does Pilot work with set artists to do this, or
There's
do
a-
they outsource out?
No, it's all in-house with different groups in Japan. But the artisans apprentice for years before they work on the final pieces.
I can imagine.
And then one artisan will become known for that design, and they're the only one that does that design. Our catalogs talk about that and show talk about the different artisans. And each pen, when you get into the Namiki series, each pen is signed by the artisan.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Thank you for telling me.
Certainly.
Well, Bill, I appreciate you taking the time to come chat with me.
My pleasure. I enjoyed it.
Okay. And I look forward to seeing you next time.
Okay. It won't be
Won't be too long.
Won't be too long. Yeah.
You know, 24 hours. It'll be fine. Again, thank you to Bill for joining us for that interview. And we can't wait to see you later this year.
Yes, that's right. We're going to have another event with him coming up. I can't wait.
Summertime.
Yay.
So Laura came up with today's silly segment. Do you want to give us
Can I
little-
explain the concept?
that? I was hoping you would.
You know how people often describe a scenario where what pen would you use if you were stranded on a desert island?
Sure.
And you need to think, oh no, I couldn't use any other pens.
Right.
Which pen would I keep as the very only pen? So I like that idea, but I wanted to expand that.
Okay.
What pen you would use in all kinds of different situations.
I love that.
So start with what pen would you want if you're stranded on an island? But
Okay.
all right. So I think we wrote down all the choices, right?
We wrote down all the questions,
Okay.
the options.
All right.
We're going to pick some at random.
All right.
But, okay, desert island pen. So here's my chain of thought. I'm on a desert island. I want something with a lot of ink capacity that's going to last as long as possible until it runs out.
Sure.
And I befriend a volleyball or go
Right.
crazy. Right.
That makes sense.
So I picked my Opus 88 demo.
Okay. Yeah.
Great writer,
Very good.
reliable, and the ink capacity is crazy.
All right.
What about you?
So if I were stranded on a desert island, I'd want a pilot so I could fly off the island.
Wait a second. Okay. Any particular
It
pilot?
doesn't matter. Any pilot, as long as he flies me off the island. Or it flies me off the island.
All right, so this is how it's going to go, isn't it?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
What's your next scenario?
So the next scenario I thought of, because I'm goofy. So there's a desert island, but what if you were stranded on a dessert island? One more S.
Ooh.
What do you think?
I might have to pick a sailor smoothie.
Oh, okay.
I see what you did there.
Uh-huh.
And you?
So if I were on a desert island, okay, I thought about this. I would want a Namiki Emperor because I could use the gigantic number 50 nib as a spoon. I guess like the whole island is either made of desserts or it's just covered with desserts. I'm not sure which.
Sure.
But yeah, I need a spoon, and that nib is pretty
You
gigantic.
can definitely do a lot of scooping with that nib. Yeah, for sure. All right. What are some other scenarios you came up with?
We have the other ones in the hat. Let's go for the hat.
I'll give you the hat.
Oh, I'm pulling them out.
You want me to pull one out?
We could take turns. How
All
about
right,
that?
go for it.
All right. So I pulled out. While parking. What pen would you want while parking?
While parking. Of one of the Faber-Castell Bentley pens.
Oh, sure.
Parking car Bentley. That's what I got. Sorry,
Yeah,
I don't have a
no,
particular
that
one
makes
in
sense.
mind.
Yeah, no.
What about you?
Well, I have a lot of trouble with parallel parking, so I think a pilot parallel would be really useful.
Anyway, I'm going to pick one next. I'm sensing a theme here. What pen would you want if you were lost in the woods?
Well, that probably would happen to me because I have no sense of direction. But if I had a pilot explorer with me,
my God.
he could help me, or it could help me. What about you?
So no pilot pens came to mind. I'm sensing a theme here. I picked a kaweco Sport so I could put it in my pocket and not have to worry about it. So when I'm climbing up a hill or something, I'm unencumbered.
Okay, that makes sense.
There was some logic there.
Sure, okay.
I'll let you pull the
And
next
it's pretty
one.
sturdy, if you have to bang on something
If I have to beat a small woodland creature
to death to eat
death,
it to survive.
I could use my kaweco Sport. Exactly.
Okay. But probably it should be the AL Sport because, a lot harder.
To properly
strong.
bludgeon.
Yeah,
the woodland
plastic
creature.
wouldn't be as painful.
You raise a very good point.
Yeah.
We're sick
Okay.
people. All right, it's your turn.
My turn? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I know you like this one. Which pen would you want at the bank?
I would want my Lamy Safari to let them know that I don't have a lot of money. So don't try to take advantage of me.
Okay.
Help me, I'm poor.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like I'm going to roll up in the bank with a Mont Blanc and they're going to try to offer me like a new credit card or open this new account.
Right.
I'm going to show up here and be like, this is where I'm at, people.
You don't want to give any false ideas.
Not at all.
Wow.
I am who I am.
I really went the opposite way with this one.
Go ahead.
At the bank.
Which Namiki?
Wait a minute. I think the perfect pen at the bank. The Mickey Emperor Treasure.
I feel like, what are you doing here?
What are you talking about?
All right. How about, to write a scathing resignation letter?
Ooh. Okay. You want me to go or you?
I'll go, since I can imagine you have a pilot product up your sleeve.
What are you talking about?
I picked my Diplomat Arrow specifically in the color Factory because they can take this job and throw it in the freaking trash.
Because it looks like a trash
It looks like
can.
I call mine my trash can. Sorry.
I like that. Yes.
See?
Okay.
All right, now you.
So for this one, if I was writing a scathing resignation letter, I would use a pilot vanishing point and fiery orange marble.
I love the color. Any reason
And then
why?
I just vanish.
Whoosh.
Yes, I'm leaving.
I love it. You know, I'm going to pick the next one. Just for funsies. In court.
In court. Ooh.
Oh, this one hits too close to home
I
because
know.
I have jury duty
I know
at the end
you
of the
do.
month.
Yikes. What would you go for in
The
court?
Conklin Lex.
Oh, sure.
It's all about justice.
Yes, very nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you, Laura? Because you're messing with me with all pilot products.
I'm not messing with you.
But you're giving me no explanation
These
why.
are my real answers. This is just what came to mind.
Whoa, what came... All right, go ahead. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Well, if I were in court, I'd use a Pilot Justice 95.
I'm done with you. I'm so done with you. How many more of these are there? Go ahead.
Ooh, how about this one? Sounds pretty fun. If you were at a magic show, what would you go for?
My Monteverde tool pen. Because
Why?
look at all the fun things it can do.
Okay, it's kind of like magic with the level and all that cool stuff.
It is pretty magical.
All right.
It's a wonderful pen.
And like if the person was trapped and couldn't get out of the,
I could at least loosen the screws.
Yeah. Or the thing where they like get dumped in a tank of water or wearing a straitjacket.
Can't save them then, but I would tap on the glass with the tool pen.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And it's metal. Maybe you could break the glass with it.
Here's hoping.
Okay. I like this choice.
All right. What about you?
Well, if I were at a magic show.
I expected the vanishing point for this answer.
No. I would use the Namiki Emperor 2023 White Rabbit.
Oh, my God.
Pull it out of the hat.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Yeah.
What else do we have in this hat?
Wild gardening.
Oh, well, gardening.
I have the perfect one.
What is it?
My Benu talisman in lavender.
Oh,
I would just stick that in the
and
ground.
it has the lavender infused right in the pen.
It smells so good.
Do you think you could grow a lavender plant if you just stuck one of those
Why
pens
would
in the
I
ground?
want to bury my lavender pen?
Oh, you wouldn't. It would just inspire you.
Exactly.
It might attract pollinators too,
That
because
would be
they could
kinda cool.
smell that beautiful smell.
I would love that.
I would love
We need
that
more
also.
pollinators out there.
We do.
What would you garden with?
Oh, well, if
My
I
pilot
were...
shovel 713.
Hey, maybe that's a new pilot.
Bill, get on that one.
No, I would use an Amiki flower fence, which is really beautiful.
This has got to be some joke you're playing on me.
Not a jokester. I wouldn't.
I'm not a jokester, she says.
We had one more question.
Yeah.
Where is it? No, I think you need to ask that one.
What pen would you use? Would you want if you need help remembering who you saw at the pen show?
That's a big problem for me because I have a bad memory and I am really bad with faces and names.
Understood. You
So,
want me to answer first, or would you like to answer?
You can answer first. What would you use?
I couldn't come up with a good one for this one.
Really? Because you could remember, unlike me.
I have. Oh,
You wouldn't need this.
I would pick an Amiki 2022 elephant because I have an elephant's memory.
Hey!
Boom!
That was my answer. You stole my answer.
Beat you at your own game. Okay, so what's up with all the pilots? You have to let me in on this now. I need to understand because this has been driving me crazy.
Wow. The pilot team was really nice to me at the pen show. And I really had a lot of fun hanging out with Bill, Casey, and Ike. They were super nice. And I actually talked to them about the show, and they helped me come up with this idea for the silly
So this was a
segment.
setup, is what I'm hearing.
No. Definitely not.
I'm glad the pilot team was awesome to hang out
They
with. That
were
sounds
wonderful.
very cool.
I really loved hanging out with them. They're so nice.
On that note, thank you for joining us for another episode of For Your Penjoyment.
Don't forget to
Like, comment, and subscribe.
And
hit the
which
notification
I
button.
didn't do, and I never get notifications, and now I know why, because you have to actually hit the notification button.
That is absolutely right.
I didn't know that was a thing. I'm so behind.
It's okay. You'll hit it now. It's all good.
Please do comment. We absolutely love your comments.
We love reading them. And
I'm exhausted again. That was so intense.
I encourage you all to keep writing, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.